Last week, I was working on a science circuit project in which I had to connect a lot of wires to batteries to make it about move. With 2 hours of hard work, I managed to get it moving. As I was about to cherish my happiness of completing the project, my brother just comes and kicks it down. Am I devastated? Oh yes, I am. I assume that most of us would want to kick that person back, but what if that person is your curious sibling? Would you still do the same? You can't kick him, you can't scold him, you can't do anything to make yourself feel satisfied. Well, this is how life feels when you have a curious sibling. Somebody once said, siblings, your only enemy that you can't live without. Well, I totally agree. Siblings are one of a kind. I want to share with you all that even if siblings are the most annoying creatures on this planet, they still teach you a lot. And to tell you the fact that before 2017, I didn't agree with myself. I thought siblings were just people who play and have fun with one another. Everything had changed 3 years ago on the 20th of April, when I had become an elder sister. At first, I didn't know what it was going to be like a sister. I didn't know how it was going to feel after being the most loved child for 9 long years. I thought all the love for me was going to be his, but luckily, nothing like this happened. I'm still the most loved child. Don't feel sad, Aryan, we still love you. When I became an elder sibling, my parents started depending on me. They started training me on how to babysit him. I felt that I almost became Aryan's third parent. Now, this third parent theory can come in handy. Sometimes he doesn't listen to them, but he listens to me. Has anyone in the audience experienced this as an older sibling? Well, great. Whether he scratches my face or wipes his nose with my shirt, I love being his older sister. He's the best part of my life. He's the most amazing, kind-hearted, and active kid I've ever met. Before I continue, I would like to ask, what do 2-year-olds do? 1, they live in the moment. 2, they don't care what others are talking about them. 3, they just keep going on till they get it right. These are just 3 reasons out of 3 million why I feel best to have him as an important part of my life. These 3 reasons should also be applicable in our daily lives. We should try to be ourselves, always. Being an elder sister has taught me so many wonderful things. My brother, even though he's very young, has taught me big life lessons. For example, he laughs and smiles about the tiniest of things. This has taught me to cherish all the little moments in life. Here is a memorable event of when Aryan was 2 years old. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, he started walking and soon running. All our eyes glued to him, wondering what he'll do next. One day, when he was messing around, he hit his forehead in the balcony. Soon, a pool of blood was formed. Crying loudly, we rushed the hospital into the pediatrician's clinic. Outside, I could hear Aryan screaming, my mom crying. What a tense moment it was. What do you expect a child to be doing after you got 2 stitches? Still be crying, right? But no, Aryan was behaving the exact opposite. When he saw the bright balloons and the kids playing outside, he rushed to play, acting like everything was perfectly fine. This is how kids are. You never know what's on top of their minds. Aryan has also taught me to be determined. He has seen me cycling in the park. He has noticed his friend cycle in our condo. This has made him want to cycle as well. 2 years ago, when we were traveling to Pattaya, he forced my father to buy him a blue teddy bear cycle. At first, everyone was surprised. How could a 1-year-old even drive? For the first 3 months, he couldn't even pedal. But in just the next 6 months, he started cycling like a pro. This may seem like a small action to you, but when I observe this, it feels like it's indirectly adding one more life lesson to my life. It explains to me that I should work hard, with determination, and courage to achieve my goals, even if my path is going to be full of difficulties, which will always be there. This tells me that I shouldn't give up. Aryan has shown me how fun life can be by letting peekaboo or having a short race in the park. After spending so much time with him, I learned to not take myself so seriously and enjoy every second. I may be sounding like an elderly woman, hope not, but to tell you the fact that even at the tender age of 10 and 12 children, I don't know whether I should say children or parents. Anyway, yes, there's so much competition that whether you are an 11-year-old or a 35-year-old working adult, the day for both is equally busy. So yes, my little brother has certainly taught me to respect all the time we have. Having said that, being elder also brings lots of responsibilities on the table. I have to be super cautious because he has lots of tricks up his sleeve. His continuous mischief keeps us on our toes. We can't even take eyes away from him. One second he look away, and the other he'll put his finger in the fan. This has made me alert. I started believing that listening, which is one of our 5 senses, has been activated. Even the slightest sound in my regular session alerts me. This has not happened before. As I say, experience is the best teacher. Along with being responsible, alert, and mature, Orange also taught me to be happy. Now just think what happiness means to you. For some, it may be beating their friend in PUBG, getting a new gadget, or watching their favorite movies on Netflix. But for me, it is spending time with my loved ones and family. Do you remember your Christmas dinner with your family or your New Year get-together with your friends? The surprising thing is that even after spending so much of that precious time, how you wish you could do more of it. And in spite of playing those games or watching series after series for hours together, the next moment you're bored or exhausted and wondering what you should do next. In my case, Ari has completely reframed my definition of happiness. He has taught me to be happy always. If I just hand him a tiny little car, he'll be jumping up and down like a clown because that's what interests him. When I look at his enthusiastic face, I question myself. If he can be happy, why can't I? After school finishes, most students are drained out. When I reach home, I'm completely energized because I know my brother is going to be there, waiting for me. And the moment I open the door, there he is, waiting patiently for me to hug him. Now this is what I call happiness, and I don't need a gadget to help me get that. Neither should you. So in short, happiness is right here. All we need to do is grab it. But how? By enjoying every moment, running around, spending time with your family, giving full attention to the things you love. So the next time you're with your siblings or cousins, don't forget, it's time to enjoy. Thank you.